model too often imposed on educators. I stepped away from full-time teaching a few years ago, but Horace Mann's program is flourishing, as are other independent study programs that I describe in this book. Some are similar to the one I established. Others appear quite different, but rest upon the same values. I assume you're listening to Independent Study That Works, Designing a Successful Program, because you want to start an independent study program, or make changes to one your school already has. Or perhaps you're interested in applying independent study methods to curricular units in an otherwise traditional class. Maybe you're a homeschooler searching for a new approach. Independent Study That Works, Designing a Successful Program, will help you accomplish those goals. Speaking of goals, if there was ever a time to reach for them, it's now. When COVID-19 struck, many teachers heroically pivoted from in-person to hybrid to online learning and back again, several times. Being forced to change has proved that change is possible. More than a few educators have not wanted to go back to normal as the threat of contagion recedes, because existing strategies have not worked well for too many students. The beauty of independent study is that it is not a lofty pedagogical theory. It is practical in all learning formats, for a range of age groups and skill levels, in public and private schools. Let me backtrack a moment to tell you how I came to independent study. I was teaching a full range of English classes when I heard that my school would offer a new course, the Interdisciplinary Independent Study Seminar, the following year. 20 students had enrolled, each with a different project. Among them were Daniela, Portrayal of Scientists in Film and Literature; Jared, History of Political Cartoons; Stacy, Psychology of Superstition; Melissa, Ancient Greek Art; Greg, Ethical Issues in Computer Programming; and Andreas, Biology of Leeches, Live Ones. The course design put all those kids in one room twice a week. Was I interested? Yes, I was. I was also terrified. What does an English teacher know about leeches or political cartoons? How could I keep 20 kids on task without common benchmarks? Most frightening to me, what would we do in a seminar? Obviously, I took the job. Over the next couple of decades, my answers to those questions evolved, but the basics of the course remained the same. Project: a student-proposed, year-long research inquiry, science experiment, or creative work. Mentoring: close supervision by an adult, usually but not always a faculty member. Product: concrete expression of learning, such as a paper, lab report, interactive website, story, artwork, or performance. Presentation: at least one by each student per grading period, during which the student teaches something learned through project work. That is what my independent study class looked like, but yours doesn't have to. In fact, it probably should not be an exact copy, because the independent study you implement should reflect your own goals and your students' needs. To that end, in this book I describe how other schools manage independent study effectively. I also discuss independent study in the context of homeschooling, and I explain how to adapt independent study methods to a traditional class format and to online learning. Who and where? Some schools designate independent study as a program for gifted students only. I must confess that I would rather listen to a fingernail scratching on a chalkboard than sort kids according to whether they are gifted or not gifted, for one label implies the other. Students perceive the sorting, and they often live up or down to expectations.